We're here with Martin Billany and Marianne Miller at MTAC Lunar here on the OSMcast.
Hello, we are here at MTAC Lunar. Happy to be joined once again. Some of our favorites, Martin Billany, Marianne Miller. Guys, welcome back.
Thanks for having us.
We're here for the Lunar C of the Lunar Convention. I'm sorry. I'm starting off with a dud already. It's nothing but uphill from here.
Blank stares all around.
Yeah.
The number of people that just stopped listening.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Staggering.
Bye.
It's like, oh, okay, next podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, how are you guys doing?
Doing all right. Yeah, so far so good. This is our 5th MTAC, something like that?
6th.
Good grief. But yeah, we're always happy to come, and the Nashville people are always 10 out of 10. And I've only really done the one panel each so far. But it started off well. Everyone seems very receptive. It seems like a very positive atmosphere, as always. And just very glad to be back and on you guys' show.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, what have you guys been working on lately?
That you can talk about.
Yes.
Caveat.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm working on a bunch of shows right now, but they're not out yet, so I can't talk. But
you talking about Fooly Cooley?
I was in FLCL Alternative last year, the 3rd season that aired on Toonami late summer, and that was pretty awesome. And then, I'm still trying to market my manuscript. I have an agent reading it right now, and hopefully I can get a publicist next year. Fingers crossed.
Well, hopefully we'll hear about that in the near future.
Yeah.
As for me, I've just been preparing for the final season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, which is a thing that's sort of somewhat defined my life for the last 13 years or so. So preparing for that to come to a close is fairly monumental for me, at least on a personal level. But
certainly,
But I'm looking forward to also closing the book on that, just because a finality to it. I don't have to leave it hanging.
Right.
Yeah.
That is a very interesting thought, because you've been working on that for ages and ages. So what are you going to turn your attention to next?
Well, we're slowly trying to reshuffle things. I've been doing professional voiceover on and off for the last, 8 years or so. So obviously that career option is still available to me. I also have other ideas and things in the fryer, so to speak. I'm doing a series where I review the other spin-offs of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's ongoing. There's so much Yu-Gi-Oh! Content out there that proliferates media, and I don't know if it'll ever go away. So I don't think I'll ever have a shortage of Yu-Gi-Oh! Content to talk about. But aside from Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'm very much into pro wrestling. I did a pro wrestling review series for a while. And what else have I got?
Oh, you're doing Twitch now?
Oh, yeah, Twitch streaming. I'm trying to sort of get into the streaming habit, and it's been relatively successful so far, so people seem to like my face.
Is it going to be more of like a chat or creative, or are you going to be playing some games?
I mostly do like hangouts. Like if I'm watching a live wrestling show, I'll be like, tune in and chat with me while we're doing that. I'm not very good at doing creative stuff while I have eyes on me.
Sure.
So my performance tends to... I get distracted, so I try and save my creative works for when I'm by myself. But yeah, streaming, hanging out, some video games, yeah.
Excellent.
You can find me at twitch.tv/LittleKuriboh versus VSE.
So let me ask you guys, this is something I've been thinking about lately, just like in my personal life. How do you guys stay motivated? Because, you're obviously still doing a lot of things. You've got a lot of projects. What keeps you guys motivated?
Well, that's kind of a question we've been answering for ourselves right now. I think the 30s is when you start really settling into who you are as a person and trying to figure out what motivates you, ongoing. And I think for me, I've always really loved the entertainment industry. I grew up watching TV and movies and everything else, and I was always drawn to that to this entire world of fantasy where you could, make anything that your mind could come up with. But I feel as though maybe I got into acting because, when you're young and you like the attention, you have different motivations.
Yeah.
And now I'm much more passionate about writing believable characters outside of the white male default and creating more interesting and diverse scripts, not just in terms of like the orientation or skin color of the character, but also in terms of like just breaking out of this Hollywood blockbuster format that we've been haunted by for the last decade at this point. I'm so tired of it. So.
I think just about all of us are, and it looks like we're finally getting a little bit of traction and just seeing some changes, so hopefully that trend continues.
I mean, like, Crazy Rich Asians really, like, showed that there's, a thirst for and Crazy Rich Asians, it's not even that it was that different. It was just such a refreshing spin on an old story, because we've never seen these bright, beautiful colors and, this very sort of not generic love story, but, a love story told in Shanghai with these Asian American people. It's like, it's very unique. It's something you've never really seen before.
Right.
It's, as it turns out, representation's important.
Well,
who knew?
Yeah. You expand your market when you cater to your market.
Yeah. Well, these people don't want to think much. They it's like, okay, that was successful. Let's do that. Okay, well, that's still successful. Let's do that again. And, they just never, ever break out of that cycle because they like money.
Yeah.
They're, not really super interested in, telling a different story or, focusing in on some interesting part of the human experience. They like money, and I get that.
Yeah.
It's interesting because your motivation sort of comes from wanting to change the industry out, like as a whole, outside of yourself. You want to see change. You want to, what is the phrase? Actualize change around you. And I sort of find motivation in trying to change things about myself and how I feel. Like I feel like challenging myself to do other things that might be outside my comfort zone, like putting myself on screen. Like that's a big challenge for me. And obviously it's part and parcel of streaming, and some of the review videos that I do, I appear on screen and I'm like, that causes me to change the way I view myself, and it causes me to maybe be less inhibited. And I'm very encouraged by that and the positive feelings that I've had as a result of it. It feels like a genuine change within me for the better, and that's something I'm trying to pursue as well. So I'm trying to get motivation from self, and not just enhancement, but change.
Yeah, I can empathize where both of you are going in terms of like wanting to affect change outwardly as well as wanting to affect change from within, and sometimes the two can bleed over. What is the thing about yourselves that you're most focused on in terms of just like personal development?
Well, I'm trying to be more outgoing socially. I've been a very insular creator for a long time. I'm sort of known for doing all the voices, as they say. I'm like, you're the guy who does all the voices on Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. How do you do that? And I'm like, because I didn't know anybody else. I didn't have the option of bringing other people in because I just didn't know anybody. So I've been trying to do projects that involve other people professionally, also just with my YouTube stuff. And I've just been trying to make myself more comfortable with who I am, because a lot of acting is obviously performance. A lot of voiceover is changing yourself entirely to present yourself as a completely different character that could be a completely different race, gender, etc. But just presenting myself as who I am and being comfortable with that, that's what I've been sort of focused on, is just making sure that, I can put myself out there and not be afraid of rejection from the viewers and from people.
That is a tall order.
Oh, yeah.
For me, the thing I've really been focusing on this year is self-advocacy and advocacy in general, because I think we have a habit of viewing people, especially women, who try to ask for things as being demanding, when really it's not that, we're being demanding. Like with the whole Me Too thing, if we were to look at that out of context, it's a boundary was crossed. People are communicating that a boundary was crossed, and the other side is taking offense to that communication.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a negative reaction, even though it's just an attempt at communication, an ongoing attempt at communication.
Right.
So I've always been driven by this like fear that if I try and advocate for myself or ask for things or ask people to help me in any way, that I'm being demanding or needy or whatever. And I'm already kind of a target because I've got, crazy hair colors and I'm giant and all this other stuff. So
she's literally 60 feet tall, listeners, just in case.
Yeah, that's why I'm an echo. but yeah, like it's really been difficult for me to like throw out that external monologue of like people automatically don't like me because of how I present myself, and ignoring that long enough to be like, I don't appreciate the way that I'm being treated, or I don't like the way that things are being handled right now, and that has started coming up a lot in like my work in terms of negotiating fair salaries for myself, or hourly rates. And it's come up in terms of like our personal life, because obviously we're getting into almost a decade of being married now, and we're learning a lot about boundaries and communication and stuff, and also in terms of friendships too. Like now is kind of the time where everybody's getting really busy, either from kids or work or careers or whatever, and we all kind of start forgetting about each other. And when you try and ask people to remember you, they might not like the way that you ask. You know what I mean? And it's just been a very frustrating time in general for me in terms of getting what I want. But now that I know how to ask, it's become much better.
Right. Well, I think that sort of self-advocacy is very important, especially now, because like you said, the overriding feeling seems to be like, if you're, speaking out about something, you're doing it for yourself, and maybe you are, but that does not necessarily mean that the need is invalid.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that I've had to kind of come to terms with, is like, as I've spoken more about like my childhood and stuff like that, I realize that it's highly atypical.
Yes.
So like, sure, like my experience might be unorthodox, but it's also valid because there are plenty of other people who probably have similar experiences to mine. They're just not being vocal about it.
Right.
Because they're scared, because they think other people feel the same way. I mean, like, if we were to get into the topic of like being abused or something like that, obviously a lot of people have different definitions of what abuse is.
Yes.
And how you were treated in your young years kind of dictates your relationship to that sort of physical violence.
It's always interesting because you can talk to someone about an experience, and we could all go around and be like, well, yeah, I had a tough childhood, and we talk about it, not that we're not comparing anybody's pain, but what I'm getting at is you can still empathize with someone, but then listen to their experience and it'd be something vastly different from what you think of or were expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to talk about the politicized climate.
Yeah, whatever.
But the way that the climate is right now, I feel like a lot of people only listen to a few words of what's being said, and then they make their own assumptions based off of the few words that they hear. So, like, if I were to say, like, I don't know, vaccines and autism, then you would automatically make assumptions about what I'm going to say.
Right.
But literally all I have said are the words vaccines and autism. Yeah. I could be like, this dog needs to get vaccines. Autism is a mental disorder. Like, they're two completely different things, but people will automatically assume that I'm going to say something that I'm not going to say.
Right.
And so, like, breaking through that communication barrier has been so difficult just to get people to understand, like, that we don't need to be at each other's throats all the time. There are commonalities, even if we're not necessarily approaching a goal the same way,
And I think it can be tough sometimes to try and communicate that, because in my experiences, there feels like there's a certain amount of inertia. Like, people just don't want to think about it. Like, they don't want to have that rot into their consciousness, especially if it's, something they haven't had to deal with before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, there's also like this ongoing assumption, like we do kind of as a culture, like assume that certain things only happen to bad people. We cannot even begin to fathom why a nice person might, get hooked on opioids, but like doctors are overprescribing opioids, like there are reasons, logical reasons as to why these things happen, but people make their assumptions and they don't want to listen.
Yeah.
I don't remember how we got on this topic.
Talk about what you wanted to focus on as far as like change.
Yeah.
Well, that
it's okay.
Tackling assumptions.
All right, so completely changing tracks and going back to like abridging.
Yeah.
Basil's like, John's going too serious here. I gotta pull this thing out.
That's right. The real hot button, yes. Well, I remember back in the day when they were just called fan parodies.
Yes.
And then next thing I know, there's this Yu-Gi-Oh Abridged thing, and everyone's like, I'm doing abridging now. And I'm like, wait, what's abridging?
Yeah.
And even now, I have like coworkers and friends who are like in their late teens who are now just getting into.
It's bizarre.
Yeah. Like, how does it feel to be one of the firsts?
Yeah.
The whole abridging thing, and it's still going strong. Like now, how is that? 13 years of legacy.
It's a strange, peculiar thing. Like you say, though, fan parodies have existed since like at least the 90s, maybe even 80s, when people started using like message groups, like what were they, chain letters on email, and they could pass things around like fan scripts and everything. But I think the advent of YouTube only is really what allowed abridging to sort of take over as a niche within that fan parody community that was very accessible, because anime, I feel, is much easier to edit than other pieces of media. I feel like you didn't really, using my first works as an example, you didn't have to be that great at editing or at voice acting. You could just do it with by yourself in a day. So it was something that people sort of just started latching onto because they all wanted to do it, and it's fantastic. And it's certainly evolved and changed throughout the years. Guys like Team 4-Star showing up and really upping the game across the board. It's been a pleasure to watch happen. It is strange to look back at where everything started. I just did a panel this morning called History of Abridging, which usually I just show one video after another and I give a brief introduction, talk about who made it. But this time I decided to talk about just my personal experience through the whole thing and how I got involved and why, because I was sort of a social hermit and just didn't have really any other outlets to express myself. And YouTube just happened to be what was there. It's been overall for me life-changing, and it continues to change my life to this day in much more subtle ways. But it's something I'm extremely grateful to have experienced, and not just experienced as a creator, but also as just an active participant, watching other people take their own projects and go above and beyond anything that I could do. We have a different convention, SakuraCon, happening this weekend, and they have a bunch of abridgers there who are hosting panels, showing their own content, and that's incredible to me. Like, that somebody's going to go to one of those panels, and it's going to be their first experience watching something even remotely similar to what those guys are doing, and I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't. It's very gratifying to me to have been a sizable part of what ultimately led to an enormous revolution of new anime content and fans of that content through fan works. It's just been, I couldn't ask for anything else. I really couldn't.
Is Star Wars just wrestling with glow sticks?
Wrestling with glow sticks? Well, I feel like there are more rules involved with wrestling that they ignore usually. But if you had to compare Star Wars and wrestling to each other, I feel like certainly the new movies are very comparable, because literally everyone leaves either saying that they had the best time or it was the worst thing they've ever seen. And that feels very much like the wrestling fandom every time there's a new wrestling pay-per-view comes out. They either thought it was the greatest thing they've ever seen, and that's the people who are having a good time and going there to have fun. And the people who leave being like, that was the worst thing. And they're the ones who just went to come home and complain about it. But, there's some crossover there, I'm sure.
Are you enjoying wrestling right now?
Yeah. WrestleMania was fantastic. I thought it was one of the best WrestleManias in years. And even though there's some booking issues that I have in certain areas, I think overall the product is good. The roster is good as far as WWE goes. We have the brand new All Elite Wrestling company coming out that's supposedly going to be getting a national TV deal, and you're going to be able to stream it and everything. And that's going to have an incredible roster of talent as well from the looks of things. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. It's been a good time for the last, I want to say, 5 years or so. It's been a really good time because wrestling is constantly evolving, and right now we're in a period of very, very strong evolution across the board, I think.
Oh, okay, John, you can ask another tough question.
Man, that's some whiplash, right? so just like straight whiplash. Yeah. Talk to me about, what's NXT, and it's like, okay, guys, tell me about dealing with suicidal thoughts. We're some real emotional whiplash here.
So I was just thinking, I know Barton likes Star Wars. I know Barton likes wrestling. What if?
What if?
I mean, they have wrestled with glow sticks in wrestling. They just now need to introduce steel chairs to Star Wars, and then the crossover will be complete.
Episode 9.
There you go.
I feel
it's called The Rise of Skywalker. He's getting up out of a steel chair and picking it up.
Ladder match.
Yeah. Fat first right through that announce table.
Right?
I feel like, Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. It's kind of a wrestling storyline,
100%. In fact, in my opinion, Ridley Scott's Gladiator, the Academy Award-winning film, that's basically a wrestling storyline. That's Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is the Emperor.
I said, oh my God, you're right.
I'm right. It's literally the underdog story of the guy who's been held down by the man, who's got personal reasons for vengeance, and then he gets his vengeance and the crowd loves him for it. That's Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon as a film set in the Roman Empire, and he got an Academy Award because it wasn't just half-naked guys in a ring.
Well, I mean, it kind of was, but...
I do know he, in fact, cut out the gladiators doing product placement from his original script because it's a thing that really happened, but he didn't think people would buy it.
For real. That's incredible.
Mary, what fandom things have you been into lately?
I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey quite a bit, and I'm enjoying that. I'm basically fucking my way across ancient Greece.
Everybody was back then.
I mean, it's true. I mean, that's speaking of representation. I'm a quarter Greek, so for me, running around I've been telling Cam, I've been playing a lot of Odyssey too. Actually, I'm just picking corner Greece and just stabbing and shooting arrows as far as the eye can see until I hit the end of the map,
basically,
and boinking whoever comes my way too.
Yeah.
That's
my favorite was there's that old lady who's like, my husband won't bone me as much anymore. Go get this ancient Greece Viagra. So I go out and I get this fucking plant and I come back and she's like, oh, thank God my husband's here. Now he can bone me. And he's like, woman, I can't keep up with your fucking hormones. And then
you're going to kill me. What are you doing? Why did you bring that?
Back. So Cassandra's like, hey, I'm here. And then we fucked for 3 days.
That's right. And they make you watch it. Well, not watch it, but
that's
you watch
sundown, sun up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And then what else am I doing?
Final Fantasy 14?
Oh yeah, we've been getting back into Final Fantasy 14
the new expansion's coming out in July.
Yes, Shadowbringers.
Yeah, we really want to be like a girl gang of bunny
girls.
Damn straight.
Sierra, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, we showed our friend
KG.
He's
here.
He was over at our house, and we showed him the announcement trailer for the bunny girls, and KG was looking at it, he was like, yeah, run.
You have to explain that there was a shot of a bunny girl running through the forest, and he goes, yeah, run.
Are you threatening this poor bunny girl in my house?
He claims he was encouraging her.
It sounded so violent.
That does remind me during the latest 24-man raid, we were watching Fran. She's running from point to point, and there were a lot of people showing their pictures of them running right behind her.
Of course.
That's Final Fantasy XII, man. That was my whole playthrough of that game.
Final Fantasy XII, either Fran or Balthier is in the lead for the same reason.
Yeah.
Booty watch.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So
Valpurgis is coming soon.
Okay, well then back to 14. Well, what's your favorite class, job, whatever you want to call it? You've been trying out.
Well, I mean, I'm always bard. No matter if there is a bard, I will be a bard because I like sleeping with people and I like trolling people. In Final Fantasy XI, my friend and I rolled bards. Well, we had to unlock the advanced classes and
Right.
then but we would back then the airships were in real time, so it would take 10 minutes to go from point A to point B in Final Fantasy XI. So my friend and I would just hang out on this airship and just be naked, and we'd play our harps, the pre-programmed songs, and then we'd beg for money. We were just fucking video game grifters. But yeah, so I'm playing Bard. I'm really excited for Dancer and Gunslinger as well, because that's got the gunblade, right?
Is it called Gunslinger?
It's Gunbreaker, but yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You've got a gun, it breaks, it slings, whatever.
I'm going to be Squall. That's what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
I'm going to be a female bunny girl Squall, and it's going to be beautiful.
We're just trying to unlock the Regalia right now.
Yes.
The car.
Yeah.
Because they're doing the 15 event right now. You got to help Noctis. So we helped him. And now we're just trying to
you
unlock
helped him.
Oh, you didn't finish?
No, because Garuda keeps killing me.
Okay, so the trick that really got me was they want you to eventually teleport to one of the monuments or towers or whatever. Do the one that Noctis is not targeting.
Not target. Okay.
That's what got me, because I kept dying too, and I was getting really frustrated and was banging around my desk, and Bob was like, "What are you doing?"
No. I already beat that one. I'm talking about the Garuda one.
Right.
Yeah.
Where you're using the king's ability to flash towards whatever.
Yes, okay, so you just can't go to the same one as him.
You can, because I did that, but...
Really? Every time I did that, I died. I went to a different one.
Yeah, she keeps
I
sucking me
survived.
back in.
I feel like maybe I've just got too much...
I just sort of waited till near the end of the bar of her casting, then I would teleport to a different one, and then I was okay.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I must have done it wrong, but I still did it.
Well, I did it wrong too. It still did the first time.
That works.
So I have an alt. I had to do it on it too. So I had to do it twice, and that's the only reason why I know how to do it properly.
Right.
So I had to go through it twice.
There you go. Now you know.
Duly noted. Learned it here first.
That's right, here on the Awesome Cast.
That's why you listen, isn't it? To hear other people get hints for how to beat MMO bosses.
That's right.
We nailed it.
Good job.
Why hasn't Square Enix just made Awesome Cast the official Final Fantasy XIV podcast?
Oh,
yet?
please, there's plenty of other way bigger 14 podcasts.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking the question. Why hasn't it been you, Basil?
Well, because I'm planning on eventually spinning off an actual 14 podcast that's Awesome Cast adjacent. So
Gotcha.
maybe that's why.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Right?
Betraying yourself.
Yes.
On the same network and podcast feed because I'm cheap.
Yeah.
Yourself in the back.
It's very pro wrestling of him.
It is. Kevin, you ask a question.
I don't have any questions.
Well, why don't you?
I don't know.
You've been sitting here percolating something awesome for quite some time, and you haven't asked one yet. And I know it's just going to be just a good zinger. Not that I'm putting on the spot or anything.
Got a zinger now.
100% on the spot. 100% on the spot.
So what made you come back into 14? Let's go back to the well. That sounds fun.
What made me come back into 14? The dancing job, honestly. And also the gunblade job.
I showed her the trailer and she was like, oh, I need that gun.
Yeah.
But I got back into 14 because a couple of friends of mine in England play it all the time. And I was like, I want to reconnect with those guys. I haven't really hung out with them. I've not hung out with them physically in a long time, but I haven't really chatted to them. And I was like, this is a good way of just playing and chatting. And then with the new expansion coming out, I was like, yeah, I'm 100% invested again. It's not hard for me to get addicted to an MMO. I always do, but I tried to avoid it. And this time I allowed myself because it was a social thing.
So what are you playing?
What class and stuff? I'm Gladiator? No. What am I?
Well, you kind of switch back and forth.
Yeah, I go back between White Mage and I have a Lancer that I'm working on right now. But I don't really have a favorite. I guess I like being healer more than anything. But we married each other in game. I'm a Lalafell.
Yeah, and I'm a Rogue Aiden.
So when we kissed in the ceremony, these little Moogles had to pick me up and float me over to you to kiss you. So it was, was that a vomiting sound?
No, it's totally cute. I also play Lalafell, and my wife also does. I told her she had to be a Lalafell too, so that way the pictures wouldn't look weird.
and they do.
Well, thank you. I'm glad. Yes, validation is nice.
Confirm.
My favorite is when you have a Lalafell on a motorcycle because they have the Fenrir motorcycle in it now, but then you have a Rogue Aiden in the motorcycle, and the motorcycle is as big as the character is. So one of them has like a little toy motorcycle, basically. One of the ones you like wind up or you pull back and you let go and it zooms off. And the other one has like the big bad motherfucker motorcycle.
It's okay in the regalia. It's the same one for everyone.
All right.
So they just had a lot of people standing on the seat, holding on to
For real?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Like,
I just love that, like, now in AOSIA, there's all these suspicious black cars just parked.
it's just parking lots as far as the eye can see,
Yeah.
really. Like,
No.
Frame Roger Rabbit's ending all
Yeah.
over again, yeah.
I went out to, like, this shack in the woods, and there were, like, 3 regalias parked out front, and I'm like, is there a drug deal going down that I didn't hear about? Like,
well, I just to make a joke tweet last night before driving down this morning, I went to the Crystal Tower area where you have to like queue into a separate scene just to be able to really look at it. And I was doing it to take a screenshot. Next thing you know, another car drives up, and I'm like, wait. No one goes here. You can only go here on purpose. There's no real plot reasons to really go here after you do the one event. But they were just chilling out. Next thing you know, they park right beside me. They don't even say they're just there. And I'm like, all right. I don't.
So you're like the first guy who went to Makeout Point, and then someone else went to Makeout Point. You're like, this is my fucking Makeout Point.
Now it's awkward.
God, no one else is supposed to appreciate the majesty of this video game.
That's right. Or when you drive over flowers, the flowers just show up in the car.
In the car.
Oh, they do?
Because it rides so low. And like all
Flintstone style.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a very yabba dabba doo of a model.
Dabba-doo time.
Have a gay old time.
Yes.
That's right.
Correct.
Better have a gay old time.
Or else.
Will you better run.
Noctis and his friends.
Hey, sign me up.
They're having plenty of gay old times.
Those onigiri looked amazing. No, like they actually do. Like the scene where you're camping with Noctis.
Yeah.
And Noctis lays down a plate of onigiri, and it looks photorealistic like it would in 15.
No,
Like,
I'm just, I'm imagining Senran Kagura, because that shows up there, and yeah. No,
lots of things show up in Senran Kagura. I mean,
they sure do. Usually just 2 more than anything else, but yeah.
Boy, are they there.
Yeah, they're definitely there. So that seems like a great jumping off point.
Yeah. Kevin, you figure something out yet?
All right. Well, I think we can go ahead and just put them out of their misery and let them go.
All right. Give us all the shelling, all the plugs.
Yes.
Where can we find y'all? Where can we throw money at you? All that stuff, fun stuff.
Well, I have a Twitch channel too. That's twitch.tv/keepthebeat, and the E in the is a 3. And then my Twitter's Marianne Miller, and my Instagram is also Keep the Beats. What about you?
You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/LittleKuriboh VS versus. You can also find me on YouTube if you just search LittleKuriboh. Apparently, if you go to littlekuriboh.com, it just relinks to my YouTube now as well. What else? Go on my Twitter at Yu-Gi-Oh TAS, YUGIOHTAS, and I tweet all too often. Also, our cat Mozzarella has a Twitter. If you go to at MOZZAPEEPS at Mozzapeeps, she is considered. A lot of people tell us they would die for our cat. And if you
now
check
you can die too.
You can too. If you go to follow her on Twitter, she's very popular.
Well, guys, thank you so much. It was wonderful catching up with you.
Thank
Love
you.
that. John, what's your Twitter?
Mike's been trolling me about this for weeks, and I can't do anything about it. My Twitter is _Johnny5, JOHNNYFIVE. The reason that I keep getting trolled about it is because I would love to get rid of the damn underscore, but the @Johnny5 account has existed since 2008 and has tweeted 0 times.
No, curse you, Johnny5.
He's supposed to be alive.
Yes, but he is not. He is not.
No,
He has
he's
never
there
been
in the
alive.
moment.
With my honor, I have to echo across the monitors as a voiceless entity, bodiless entity. I am not trolling John. We have a Twitch channel, which you should plug.
I mean, I guess.
Okay. And then I'm like, we should sign off. People sign off. Why don't we sign off?
Because
and every sign off I know goes, well, you can find me on Twitter at my name. And where can people find you? And then he's like, oh, God. It is a normal thing.
Yeah. It's
The second time I trolled you because I knew what it was like.
Yeah.
So you can find me at It's Basil Time. And the podcast you're listening now is the Awesomecast at osmcst.com. Please like, rate, subscribe, all those things. We would love, listeners to be nice.
If you haven't already, I'm a little concerned as to how you got here, but, congrats.
I'll take people showing up however they get there, but if you want to keep showing up, that's how you do it. Okay, now you may sign off. That's great.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Hey folks, Basil here with an oddly informative stinger because it's 2019 and that's just the world we live in now. No, this is just a really weird one-off. John now has a new Twitter handle because he hates that underscore so much. He changed it after we recorded, and so now I'm recording the stinger to reinform. His new Twitter handle is now J5islive. J5islive. Is live. J5. Not JJ. It's not JJ style, it's J5 style. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop this now.